Well, hello everyone. My name's John Tuck. I'm a trustee here at Egham Museum, but I'm also the librarian at Royal Holloway. I have to apologise for not being an Eghamite. I'm not from this area, but I am passionate about libraries, museums, archives, galleries, collections, and everything that's going on here. And my role tonight, I think, is to spend a few minutes just talking through a number of the achievements that Egham Museum has delivered over the last couple of years. I'm not going to mention or give credit to all the people that have carried them out. I think Vivian has already referred to the volunteers and to the curators, but I do see Matthew Smith there, previous curator, and Sarah here. So it's none of the things I'm going to say are down to me. They're down to all the curators, the volunteers, and all other colleagues that are in or outside this room. So what has happened over the last couple of years? In 2014, as part of the countrywide commemorations for World War I, and in fact it's Remembrance Day today, isn't it? The museum took the opportunity to develop a whole series of projects. One of them was Our Streets at War. This was funded through a grant from the Heathrow Community Fund. It brought together vast amounts of research carried out by volunteers on the local men who lost their lives during 1914 to 1918. And all this is captured and made available on the online mapping site HistoryPin. So do have a look at that. There were the war micro-documentary series of films which were produced by Royal Holloway MA Public History student and volunteer for the museum, Imogen Middleton. Imogen used objects as springboards for exploring broader themes and stories. Then there were wartime activities resources. They were sponsored by Procter & Gamble. And then there was the Memories of War project, funded by the Heritage Lottery Fund. And that saw our young project team interview members of the local community about their wartime memories and to dramatise wartime letters. All this culminated in a documentary which was screened at the View Cinema in Staines and also in the thematic micro-documentaries for schools. And the project also included a temporary exhibition here at the museum. So that was one theme. The other theme, obviously, was the Magna Carta in Egham. That project was a 2-year flagship initiative. It ran from 2013 to 2015, as you all know, and it was a partnership led by the museum together with the Historical Society. The project too was funded by the Heritage Lottery Fund, and it was devised to ensure that the local community would have avenues to take part and engage in the 800th anniversary of the sealing of Magna Carta. And again, I'm going to mention a few elements that were delivered there. Core elements were to develop outputs through community engagement, such as partnerships with Runnymede Art Society and with Egham Residents Association. We developed an educational offer through working with Magna Carta School, and the wealth of the Magna Carta education resources are available to see on the website and also on our YouTube channel. We hosted a temporary exhibition at the museum displaying commemorative memorabilia from previous Magna Carta celebrations. And I'm sure many of you went to the pop-up exhibition at the United Church, which was really popular and enabled us to bring together the work of many different partners. Egham Museum, as Vivian mentioned as well, was also privileged to contribute to 2 national institutions' Magna Carta exhibitions. Costume, printed material and photographs were loaned to the British Library, where I had the privilege of working for a number of years. That was included in their really well and critically acclaimed Magna Carta Law, Liberty and Legacy exhibition. And also images were shared with the Supreme Court for their Magna Carta exhibition. So a huge amount of really positive activities relating to Magna Carta in Egham. There were further spin-offs on the same theme, and they included the development of a Road to Runnymede animated graphic novel, which I enjoyed reading, and there's copies of it at the back I've seen. Matthew had great fun putting that together, and I think also it's reached out and been highlighted in educational circles in Germany. It was illustrated by Simon Clark, who I think is here. Is that right? Hello, Simon, hi. And it was funded by Heathrow Community Fund. Then there were the Clauses banners that were funded by Surrey County Council, and we hung those across Egham, Thorpe, Virginia Water, Englefield Green and Staines, and you'll all have seen those. Finally, on that theme, the constitutional conventions, they were sponsored by Eton College, by Wellington College and by Halliford School, and they enabled over 80 secondary school pupils to draft clauses for a modern Magna Carta. Real engagement there. So partnerships have been a real key to these successes, and we work with a whole range of partners. The Historical Society, obviously, Magna Carta School, the local Girl Guides and Scout groups, Millwood Care Home, Egham Town Team, Chamber of Commerce, the Historical Association, Strodes College and Royal Holloway, to name but a few. So, a little bit to go. In 2014, the museum underwent a revamp. Surrey County Council awarded the museum with funding to give the research room, the main museum display area, the stairs and the entrance a complete refresh. Unfortunately, the revamp turned into damp the following year. As you know, again, the museum suffered a flood after a very serious and heavy downpour in August 2015. And this was just after the huge success of the Magna Carta, which would have been a springboard to do all sorts of other exciting things. Unfortunately, we couldn't reopen the museum until June this year, which meant that some of the initiatives were put on hold. However, we did use that period of time positively to update the revamp. We reconfigured it, the layout. We've installed new interpretation panels. We've rotated objects, allowing more unseen items to be shown, and that was in response to demand for that. And we've introduced more hands-on activities. Perhaps less exciting, but absolutely vital. Just last month, we submitted our application for the National Museum Accreditation Scheme. That's overseen by Arts Council England, and it sets out the national standards for aspects related to museum collections, governance, management, visitor experience, etc. So it's a serious piece of work. We are currently fully accredited, but to keep this up to date, we have to go through this rotating 3-year cycle to demonstrate we're all meeting standards and to show that we are relevant, proactive, adaptable to change, and in the mood of continuous development and improvement. So that's me done around achievements. And I hand over to a fellow trustee to talk about the future. Where is he? Oh, he's there. Right.